Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So it's another scan and cut video. So this time I'm going to show you how to cut images from designer series paper. Now this is a scrap from whatever the gnome set is in the Stampin Up catalogue. I can't remember what it's called. It's not my cup of tea. I got this at an event and I took this. Nobody else wanted it. And I said, I'm going to do a fairy journal. So actually these little toadstools might come in handy. There's also a sheet with the gnomes and there is a die set that will cut these out. But one of the things that I said about getting this machine was that it would save me money because there are certain die sets and punches that I wouldn't need because the machine will cut it out. And I have been keeping a little bit of a tally to see where I'm saving my money from. So that's what I'm doing. Now, if you remember from previous videos that the machine looks for the outline. Now there's pretty strong outlines around here that it would be all right with, but then we come here where the spots on the toadstools are and it probably won't pick those up. So rather than scan it in and find out that no, it's not going to pick those up, so it would actually want to cut all the way around those bits, I'm going to use my pencil and draw those lines in straight off, because I know from using this that that's what's going to happen. So I know you can't see this very well, but all I'm going to do is put my glasses on for a start. Let's move this back a bit so you can see a little bit better. Is I'm going to draw a little line there, joining where it's red along there. Sorry if I'm head's getting in the way. I'm actually going to draw all the way down there, because what happens sometimes, and you might remember that from a previous video, is that it detects the pencil and then it kind of forgets about the line that's already in. Went a bit wrong there. Let's go in again. There we go. That should be all right. I'm thinking we'll be all right down there. But just in case, I'm going to draw down the side of this toadstool as well. It only takes a few seconds. It is still quicker than cutting it out by hand, or indeed getting a die out. That's what I reckon. There we go. It may as well go all the way around. Now I've started. So we should cut that out, no problem. So I'm going to do this one as well. I'm not going to worry about outlining this one here. That brown is pretty dark. I think will be all right. But I am going to go all the way around this top. There we go. And I'm going to cut the blue one. So I'm going to cut the 3 out so we can see how easy it does that. Have you ever seen a blue toadstool? I haven't. I'm assuming we're going to be all right with that blue. It's quite a bit of contrast between that white, so I'm not going to do any further on that. So that's where we're going with that. So got me mat, take the dust cover off. I'm going to put it on there so that that one actually is just, oh, you can't see. So I'm only going down to the 6 inches. I'm only going to do these 3 toadstools right now, and then I might cut one of the others out with a bit of a margin, and then you can see the difference that that makes. So just giving that a good rub down. And I haven't even turned my machine on, so I'm going to press that on button there. There we go. Bring this down, put that up there. I'm going to press the home button now, and as usual, my little sign comes up there to tell me that the carriage is going to move to the initial position, and then I'm going to load the mat by pressing that button there, and the mat is taken in. As ever, I press scan, direct cut, save to the machine. We go to the spanner, we select black and white. It was already selected, I'm selecting 6 by 12. Okay, start. Oh, now it's telling me that the scanner lever is set to position 2 and refer to scanner lever and then press start key. So I think it wants it. So I press the scanner lever, set the scanner lever to position 1. So that, if you watched the previous video, I had to move this lever to the 2 position, and now it's telling me to move it to the 1. So that's what I'm doing. Normally it would be on 1. I only ever move it to 2 if it tells me. So gone okay, pressing start. So now it's going to scan. Heard a little noise there when it started, and that's making me think that I need to just give this paper another little bit of a smooth at the edge there. Right, that's the paper scanned. Happy with that. So this is where I'm going to zoom in, move my machine so you can see the screen a little bit better. There we go. So we're going to use these arrows here and drag them in. I only want these 3 mushrooms cut out, and you can see there on these other mushrooms there that it wouldn't have cut those out. You can see where it would have gone round. You can see it's outlined that one. Oh, nicely. It's not what I wanted to do. And it's outlined that one nicely. And you can see by looking here, actually it did outline that one okay. I wouldn't have needed to cut it round. But if you look at this one, completely not scanning that at all. So we'll go in here, up to there. We'll go in here, up to there. I'm going to press ignore object size, and I'm going to increase that, and I'm wanting to delete all this without doing it separately, and that is getting rid of those. That is as big as it'll go, so I'm going okay. So got rid of some of those because it will want to cut out the little snowflakes as well, but we don't want it to do that. So now it's presso, cannot create when there is no pattern. I might have accidentally got rid of it all. Let's go back. Didn't really want to go right back to the beginning, but it's going right back to the beginning. I'm an idiot. So we just repeat that. And now it's done a scan again, and now it's now not recognising that as well as it did before. That happens sometimes, which is quite annoying. So we'll just cut these two. Going to preview. And you can see on the screen that it does want to cut other things. I'm not going to do ignore object size. Now, just going to go straight to edit, and it's highlighted things there. We're going to delete. This little red box is moving around. Yeah, we'll get rid. Don't want to get rid of that because that's what I want to cut out. And now it's moved to another section up there that I want to delete. So we'll carry on deleting all those little bits until we've just got the two toadstools. That I want cut out. So now we've got a little snowflake. Don't want those. Ignore object, would have took them out, but I do seem to go Pete Tong. So I'm just showing you warts and all. Right, I want that one. That's gone to another little bit. What it's like, some of the irritating things, but I don't think it's that bad. There we go. So now we've got one toadstool, two toadstools, and that's all that it's picking up. And you can see the box moving from one to the other. So, okay, I don't want to add a margin. That's where I'd add the margin if I wanted to, but I don't. So we can see now our two toadstools there. And we want to cut. So we press start. So I'm just going to zoom you back out. Before we start that, so you can see the cutter. There we go. In action. Start. So now it will go in, checking the depth of the paper. So it's going to take a minute. And now it should cut them out. And then I'm going to repeat the process, and I'm going to cut one of them out with a bit of a margin, just so you can see what that actually looks like. There we go. Finish cutting. Okay. I always press the home button then. It tells me to delete all the patterns. Yeah, and then we're back to the beginning. Then I dismount. And then pull this sheet off. And there we have our little toadstools. 1 and 2, ready for my fairy journal. So if you were cutting this with the die that comes with this kit, it would have a bit of a margin around it, and that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to give this a good old press. On it. And then I'm going to draw again. Okay, I'm going to draw again around this toadstool here. To make sure it cuts it smoothly, including those spots. There we go. So that's all ready. So now we'll load this back on the machine by pressing that button there for loading. Okay, it says it doesn't recognise the cutting mat. It does this sometimes. So just load it again. Scan, direct cut, and start. So I'm glad you've seen that, it coming up saying don't recognise the mat. All I do is put it in again. So now we're just waiting for it to bring up the scan. Okay. Now it's going to show, it's going to detect, oh, let's come back in here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. There we are. So it's detecting the mushrooms that are already cut out, and it is, it's not doing a very good job actually of that one. It didn't like that one last time. I think it must be to do with the light as well. But it's okay with this one. So I think we might cut that one. So coming up there, I'm going to pull back. I've gone too far into that mushroom. It's actually okay with the blue one, but I don't want to cut the blue one out with a margin. So we're going to come all the way down there. So we're isolating that one there. We'll pull out a little bit. And come up there a little bit. And down there, there's less. I'm going to press ignore objects, and I've just got rid of those snowflakes. So we go back to OK. Some of those snowflakes disappeared, and they have, you can see there, if I go to edit and that, the only thing that's highlighted on here to cut, it's the black line that's the cut line, is that toadstool. So happy with that. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I'm going to add a 0.04 inch margin. Going okay, going okay. It's now processing that. I want to cut. You can see our mushroom there. Press start. And then that is going to cut our mushroom out for us. There we are. And that's it, testing how deep the paper is. It's whizzing around there. And it's coming out. Okay, dismount. Pull that off, and there's the mushroom with a bit of a border. So that is without a border, and that's it. with a border. So that is the difference between the two. Okay, so I'm gonna now, just to show you how weird this sometimes is, I'm gonna just snip off those bits. I'm gonna snip off that one. Because sometimes when you move the things around the mat, you get a different view. So I am pressing those 3 down. Just because that hasn't actually been that long, so I may as well show you a bit more. Right, I'm going to press home and delete all the information that's in there. Put my mat in its place, mount it. Scan, direct cut, save to the machine. I still want it to be in black and white and 12 by 6. So now it's going to go in and scan. And let's see what it picks up this time. Because I've changed the position of the mushrooms, it may show up something different. It should hopefully show up the whole of that blue one. Again, it did before. Right, that's okay. Let's move that in, move that in. Let's have a little preview. And if we go on here, and we can see, if I zoom you in, that actually it's still showing. Let's move that up to 400%. It's going around the red mushroom okay, but it's not going around the blue mushroom okay. So it would want me to draw down that side of the mushroom, but it's happy with that one. So I am just going to draw a line in pencil on this blue mushroom, and I will scan again so that I can get all 3 of these cut out. So we're going to come down here and we're just going to draw a line around there. So now I'm going to press the home button again. Going to do scan, direct cut. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, soz. Pressing start. So now we're scanning all over again. And hopefully it'll pick up all 3 of those toadstools. I think a little fairy will look quite nice sat on top of them there. Might not use all the ones I've cut out, but there we go. Yeah, I can see that that is now going to be all right. Pulling my arrows in to isolate a bit better. What's going on there? Going to do ignore object size. And I'll get rid of those little snowflakes. That should be okay. So now we can see on that screen, let me zoom in, that what we've got on that screen is we've got our 3 mushrooms. We've got this little bit up in the corner, which is part of the mat. So we're going to do edit, and then we're highlighting that little bit there, and we want to delete that. And so now we've just got the 3 mushrooms. If I enlarge it, we can see, I'm going to put my glasses on just to double check that each of those outlines are actually okay. They're exactly what I want. So going okay. I don't want a margin on these. Okay. Can see my 3 mushrooms there. Toadstools. Want to cut. Start. So that is it. So it's going to take 1 minute to cut those 3 out. And that is how you cut out a DSP, and some of the issues that you might come across when you're cutting them out. I appear to have lost one of my toadstools. It's just typical. It's probably under this machine somewhere. I can only find 2 for now. Them 2. There we are, it's finished cutting. Okay, I could cut a mat for them if I wanted to. I don't really. So, just gonna dismount. And now the outline will pull off. And there are 3 mushrooms, toadstools, all cut out. And that is it. So, quick as a flash, and that's what it looks like with a margin. So, hope that was useful. I think all the problems that you might experience came out in there. What you find is you've got a cut edge. If you cut it with a die, it would have like a beveled edge, it would have a round edge. You don't get that with this, it's a straight cut. But you can take your bone folder and you can smooth it down. That's not too bad. But there, so if you had the entire sheet, you could have cut those out, the whole sheet, in less time it's taken me to film this video, because I wouldn't have done the stopping and starting that I did to show what it looks like with a margin against no margin. So yeah, hope that was useful, and I'll bring you another scan and cut if you're finding them useful. Do let me know so I know whether to make any more or not. So little thumbs up, little comments, that would be great. Do subscribe, check out my playlist Scan and Cut to see the other videos that I've done, and I'll be back with you very soon with another junk journaling video. Might do with the odd card, might do the odd box. Coming up to Christmas, I will be making table favours, so I might film those. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for joining me.